Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy KSH Rising, back with another banger video. And today I got round 3 for you of the GPO here in Peoria and Morton, Illinois. I'm not going to tell you guys what happened. You guys are just going to have to watch this video and see for yourselves. But let's roll the voiceover, roll round 3, and I hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe. Hole 1 is a par 3, 302 feet. I'm trying to throw my buzz flat, and I accidentally throw it at too much hyzer. A little bit of an early release. And after getting the kick off this tree right here, I thought I was actually in bounds, but I was out of bounds. So I have this about 55-footer for my par. Cashed it to be even through 1. Hole 2 is a par 3, 200 feet. I'm using my buzz again, and I just early release the crap out of this. I get lucky and get through that middle gap, and it gets like kind of a forward skip, but also left. And I have about a 25-footer for my birdie, and cash put me 1 down through the round. Hole 3 is a par 3, 292 feet away. I'm using my Raptor. Absolutely piered the line, but I pushed it a little too far. I ended up being the same spot as round 1. So I have this putt right here about 25 feet from my birdie, and I just short putted it. So I ended up tapping it in for my par, which honestly I'm okay with, being 1 down through 3. That's fine. Hole 4 is a par 3, 320 feet. I'm using my force, and I put no turn on it at all. So it gets a little short, but it gets a good little roll down there, and I actually do have a little look for my birdie about, I don't know, I'd say I'm probably about 40 feet away. I just short it just a little bit, and I tap it in for my par, which once again, I'm okay with taking a par, to be honest. Hole 5 is a par 3, 310 feet. I went OB the last time I did this hole, so this time I didn't put any turn on it, which it actually worked out quite nice. Got a little skip to the right, but then it got kicked down by a branch. I had this jump putt for my birdie, and I didn't make it, but again, on this hole, I was aiming for a par anyway, so I'm okay with it. Hole 6 is a par 3, 273 feet. I'm using my force really low, which I actually like this shot a lot, just going low, having it skip to the basket. The ground was really skippy today. So, yeah, I was pretty close, and I just ended up tapping it in for my birdie. That puts me 2 down through the round so far. Hole 7 is a par 3, 296 feet. It's the one that doglegs to the left. I have my force in my hand, and I just do a big hyzer shot towards the basket. Puts me about 15 feet away from the basket, and, yeah, tap that in for my birdie. Puts me 3 down through 7.
There you go.
Hole 8 is a par 3, 407 feet away. I'm playing the safe route on this. I throw it a little bit too high, but it gets through that little leaf, and I end up being like, I want to say, how far? About 110 feet away from the basket, so I just do a little chip shot up there. Almost make it, but it leaves me with about a, I don't know, 10, 15-footer for my par, which on that hole, a par is what I was aiming for, so I'm okay with it. Hole 9 is a par 3, 300 feet. I'm using my buzz, but there was a headwind, so it just flipped it right over, and it never came back. I ended up going out of bounds, and I was still about 100 feet from the basket. So I just use my zone, and I pitch it up, and I tap it in for my bogey, which honestly, not a big deal to me at this point. You know, I'm just trying to cash, get top 3. Hole 10's a par 3, 253 feet, using my Raptor. Just throwing it super high this time, using a more stable disc, and it worked out much better. I learned from my mistakes last time. Ended up having about a 25-footer for my birdie, and cashed it. 3 down. Hole 11 is a par 3, 197 feet, using my zone, and this time I'm throwing a lot less high, and I'm also throwing it at a little bit less hyzer, and I end up just skipping right down there by the basket. Have about a 10-footer for my birdie, cashed. 4 down through the round so far.
Tap it for the bird. Don't tap it then fine.
Hole 12, par 3, 328 feet. I'm throwing a passion off the tee, and out of my hand, this felt freaking amazing. I just threw it a little too high and a little bit too much turn on it. Get an early kick off a tree. I'm still about 120 out. I'm using my zone, just doing like a little skip shot. Skips off a stump, which is actually good because it probably would have skipped and rolled OB. And I just tap it in for my par. I'm more than happy with that. Hole 13, par 3, 258 feet. I'm throwing my Raptor, and I just threw it a little bit too soft, but it was a perfect line if I just threw it a little bit harder. I end up being in a position where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go for this. I'm just laying it up. I lay it up by the basket, and I just tap it in for my par once again, which I am happy with. Hole 14 is a par 3, 225 feet. I'm using my Raptor like last round, throwing it up there, absolutely piered the line, and I'm parked for my birdie. Thankfully, I'm parked. So, yeah, 5 down through the round. Hole 15 is a par 3, 217 feet. I'm throwing my buzz. I threw a little bit too wide, so I hit that tree right there. Luckily, I got a left kick, so I do have a look for my birdie, but I do not make it, so I just tap it in for my par, which I am more than happy with. Hole 16 is a par 4, 558 feet. I'm throwing my force. I threw it at a lot of hyzer. I thought it was too high, too. This shouldn't have gotten through everything, but it did, and I made it about 390, 400 feet down the fairway. So now I'm looking at a little chip shot with my force right now. And I boom, and I literally boomed it. At first, I thought this went OB, so I was super pissed about it. But I actually sat down right before the OB, so I actually had to look for my birdie. But this was a difficult little look because I didn't know if I was inside or outside C1, so I didn't jump. I just, threw a little bit too hard, and I tapped in for my par, which I am so happy about that. Hole 17, par 3, 243 feet, using my zone. Just pitching out a little forehand there, gets a little kick off the leaf, and it skips right up there by the basket, giving me a birdie putt from about 15 feet away, and I cashed it. Puts me 6 down through the round. Final hole, par 3, 344 feet, just using my passion, trying to play safe. All I need is a bogey or better, and I hit the first available, which is not a good start. Throw my force down there, really inside, but I got through that main gap, so I was like, okay, this is going to be fine still. Nope, it skipped all the way down past the basket, and it went OB. This is for my 4 right here. Don't make it, so then I tap it in for my double bogey, which means that we go to a freaking 3-way tie playoff. I can't make this up. Me, Brad, and Zach are all at a tie, a 3-way tie. So, I thought I'd film the playoff too. So here's the playoff. If you guys enjoy this video, enjoy the playoff, make sure you guys like it, comment, subscribe. But yeah, here's my statistics. I ended up getting 7 birdies. But yeah, here's the playoffs right now.
The lowest number will be second. From there on out, it will rotate. If 4. Okay, so if somebody wants to write names in order on the first hole.
Alrighty, so hole 1 of the playoff, throwing my buzz like I did last time. This time I just threw it a little bit too high. It was a good line. It gets a kick off the branch. I swore this rolled OB, but it did not. My buddy Shmini told me it did not. That's where it landed right there. I'm just jump putting up to get my par at this point because the other people, we thought one guy, Zach, was out of bounds, but he actually was not out of bounds. As you see, this is the putt to win the playoff. And he shorted it. He shorted the putt, which means that I pushed the hole, which is absolutely beautiful. It's perfect. I didn't get their drives, but they both hit trees early off the bat, so I just have to have a decent enough shot to make a putt. And came off my hands, and I was like, damn, this has so much power. It went past the basket. There's OB right behind it, and I end up being 10 feet away for the win. Do I get it? Do I get it? Yes, I do. Absolutely insane finish.
There was a tie for second between Zach Switzer and Brad Stimbolic.
Yeah.
I took third with They're both the same. And first place, Chris Hills. Woo! Guys. Great final round. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
That's sick, too. It's a metal mini. So here's where I ended up winning $235 to my local disc golf shop. All these little cards have 10 on it. That means $10. So yeah, and then I got one $5 one too. I also ended up getting a metal mini first place like trophy. This thing is pure metal. It's amazing. I'm never going to use this, by the way. I'm going to probably hang it up on my disc golf wall right there. So yeah, that's what I won from the tournament. Pretty cool. But yeah, that wraps up today's video. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys like it, comment, subscribe. And yeah, it's been your boy Casey Rising. Stay lovely. We'll see you on the next one.